that goes back a long way.
Turn a little bit further.
Guess who this is? Wow. That is Aunt Fern. This is Aunt Fern. Our dear Stephanie. Smith family history.
Oh, nice.
You actually came from Adam.
Okay.
Adam. Wow. And it is all here. You can choose your friends, but you can't choose your relatives. I mean, you're stuck. Yeah, so it's all here, folks. This young man by the name, what was his name that did all this?
Was he Dave?
Dave Smith, yeah.
Oh, they came and looked at the photos, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and looked and did all kinds of good stuff.
Well, Dad, you can grab some photos too. You can look. It's not formal. It's just like
No.
looking through the photos. If you see a photo that you have a memory from,
Yeah, right.
you just like one of the photos that I would always remember you talking about was the chicken coop photos that we have of when you guys were really little, and then you always talked about the dust storms, the Great Dust Bowl, and there's a picture from that same time where you could see.
Well,
So, have you seen these beautiful girls?
Oh yeah, that's your cousins, right?
Well, it's your second cousin.
Oh yeah.
Don't disclaim her.
I'm not.
Just because they're all good looking, you know.
That's who you went and visited, right?
Yes, just because they're all good looking.
this is
Yeah.
a picture of Dad at, the building is now down at the old dairy, but Dad at Roy's house with a colt.
Okay.
Yeah, and Dad really loved his horses. And he had this old place rented out up there on the hill to Red Camel. Red Camel couldn't pay for the rent, but he promised Dad, he said, I'll buy you a good saddle horse. He got a saddle horse all right. He went over south of Akron and there was Broncos. We called a Bronco, and we called the old Bronco Brownie. And I'm telling you what, she was a good horse, but she was so ornery. She'd kick you out of the barn, and every time you
Oh, thank you, Barb.
got onto her, went out the girl gate, she'd buck 3 times. She'd buck 3 times and throw you off if you could. And then if you was over to the gate down where we go to the south, Catherine's quarter down south there had a lane across the road and we had to drive cows down there. And when you were shutting the gate, if you didn't hang on the old Brownie's reins really hard, she'd jerk them loose from you and bang, 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 she'd go to the
All
barn.
the way home.
You couldn't catch her. Well, that's the story about Red Camel and Dad. But Dad did take that horse and Dad taught her. She was so darn ornery. Dad taught her to come to him with a black snake, a big
Big whip, yeah.
Big whip.
Well, we had this guy that worked for us by the name of Ed Davis, and he lived in what we call the lower kitchen and everything, but he had some kids. One of those kids was the same age as I was and went to school at the school over South Valley. And so this kid just insisted that he sit in the front cell and I sit in the back. Okay, okay, Dad says, it's the way we do it, well, you get in the back and he gets in the front, okay, so we rode to school. And so, coming home from school, I said, well, my turn to get in the front in the saddle. No, your dad and my dad agreed that I should sit in the saddle. I said, okay, get in the saddle. So going home, I just stuck my feet in the flanks of that horse. And she bucked all the way home. And that kid was crying and he was just, oh, he was gonna get killed and everything. And I never did get bucked off or anything. That horse was bucked and I was completely vulnerable back there because I didn't have any stirrups or saddle horn or anything. You know, I just had to balance myself up on top of that horse and I did all the way home. And so from that day on, why, his dad took the boy to school in his car. No more of this horse riding stuff.
Oh, here's Mr. Edison, good deal.
Oh,
Hey, come on in, buddy.
what is this? Sheriff deed of trust. Wow. More stuff, more stuff.
I think this is Roy's picture here, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Mhm. Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, there's three awfully good looking guys. And that was out to Aunt Catherine.
Oh, yeah.
Is it written on the back?
Ralph's wedding to Sheila.
Well, that wasn't out there then. That was
No,
probably
this is at church.
Fort Collins there. Yeah.
And this is a picture of Market in front of the old place.
Oh, wow, yeah. That was in Fort Collins, I'm sure. When she owned the right Fort Collins. That's where they got married.
Yeah.
Wow.
Here's Dad, my dad. Robert, my dad, Mom, Margaret, no, Virginia, and Lydia.
That wasn't the honeymoon though, right?
Well, I don't know where it was taken. Yeah, pretty close.
It was
They're
right
about
after
the
they got
right
married.
age.
Huh?
They're about the right age.
Yeah.
Everybody is for a honeymoon.
Yeah.
Cause what's the story behind the honeymoon?
Well, my dad took her and Mom and Virginia and Catherine out to California they went to Estes Park to Yellowstone Park together, and they all camped out, and Dad all together in the car, and he had his honeymoon with his wife and everything with him.
With her mom and
Yes.
She wanted to make sure that everything was.
well, did you see the letters? Have you seen the letters about their marriage and Esther's? You can hear Esther's voice essentially saying, "Mother, he might be younger than me, but that doesn't mean anything." I know we have them in this file.
Yeah, right.
And we got him in the big truck too.
Yeah.
And then this is Virginia's brother, Oliver. And he's the one that got us started in the sheep.
And how did that happen?
Well, see, Dad was farming wheat in about 1940, right? Yeah, about 1940. And Oliver came down for a vacation a bit, and Dad was out working in the wheat, cutting, buying the wheat or whatever. And Oliver come along and says, Robert, you can't raise wheat in this sand. Dad couldn't raise wheat in that sand. But Dad had so much sage. And so Oliver said, you know, Robert, I know up there, Kemmer, Wyoming, and Rawls, Wyoming, they sell a lot of sheep and red ewes. So Oliver came down, he said, I'll help you get ready for these sheep. So the first time they had the old threshing machine, they had this wheat, and they just went ahead and built, I think about 16 feet where the old silo was, all along there, and just run a straw pile on top of that. And that's how they started with the sheep. The sheep had straw on top, and then they just used cardboard, baseboard on the backside, and the sheep would eat through the pasteboard time, and then they just eat the straw out, but they had the wire back there, and then they just trash water, wheat in there. But Dad just rode up and got a carload of sheep at Kemmer, and they'd go through, what pass was that, railroad?
Moffett Tunnel.
Montfort Tunnel. They go through the Montfort Tunnel, and those sheep would just be pretty well covered with soot. And then they unloaded them at the railroad station at where the co-op elevator is now, a co-op fertilizer place. There was a big stockyard there. And then we take the sheep east down the railroad track to First Mile and then south. And I would lead them, and Dad had the car and a couple dogs, and we just brought them out. Lambed them out, sold I think about $18 or $15 worth of wool and about a $20 lamb, and then we lost a few, and he had Nick Wilson come in and all the sheep to Denver, and away we go again. That's how we made a start with the sheep, I think, don't you?
Yeah. Mm.
But it kept getting bigger and bigger, right?
No turning back.
Yeah.
The sheep did?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you guys kept getting more and more
Yeah.
each time.
More sheep, yeah.
And then how did you finally get into the dairy business?
Well, how did we get into dairy business? Was, I think, 1948 when soldiers were done and the sheep was getting pretty cheap, weren't they?
No, we just, Dad got talking to Earl Harper, and we always had milk cows, okay? So we separated and sold the cream, and that was the money maker between eggs and cream. That would buy groceries for the week. I mean,
Yeah.
so that was really a good plan, and because so many other things were hit and miss, you know, like wheat, had a good year, and then next year, nothing, you know, zero. So your family's got to live. I mean, if you can live on cream and eggs and whatever, but anyway, while we take that cream into town and put it on the railroad train and away it go, and same way with marketing those eggs, you know, through Musteens and Musteen store in Yuma did a lot of good for our community in those hard times. They really did. But, Dad was talking to Earl Harper and Earl convinced him that he needs to milk cow. So, Earl was one of these good buddies and Earl and his boys, Max and Howard, came down and helped us build that first milk barn. And anyway, that was great on their part. But it was just all up from there. Uncle Gene come down and helped build the other part of the barn, the big loafing area and everything, a lot of family camaraderie to get things going.
And then we used, on that big loafing barn, it's still standing anyway, we used a lot of lumber off of the old horse barn.
Yeah, tore the horse barn now, because the horse barn was right where the dairy barn is now. It's same,
Oh, okay.
same location, yeah. A big barn and a lot of good lumber and a lot of stuff, you know. Yeah, but that's where and believe it or not, we started with one cow.
Yeah, we had a couple of barn milking shorthorns, and we would throw a bucket down, feed and he milked them. And then Dad bought a few more cows and we started milking them in the barn. And Ralph, we had cats. And so Ralph decided that this one old Jersey cow would just kick the shit out of Ralph when he was milking that cow, because that cat wants milk. So Ralph decided on that, he found some of Dad's dry gin. And he opened that cat's mouth up, we got a kick out of it, and he poured some of that dry gin down that cat. And that cat after morning, meow. Oh, okay, he went. And halfway down the lane, and then he just started kicking and kicking. He killed the cat.
Damn guy, anyway. Wow.
Okay, now, oh, I remember this trip.
You weren't on this trip, you can't.
Yes, I was, I took the picture.
Well, no wonder. I guess you were right. Is your name on the back?
Esther, Robert, Roy, and Ralph, but I took no, this ain't 1946, yeah. Dad decided that he could row. He scared us all to death, us boys, because he couldn't row. We just went in a circle.
Where was it?
I don't know, some lake somewhere. He rented this old boat, and I stood on the shore and took a picture because I was so darn scared.
Let me write that on there. Richard, he was scared to get on the boat. That's what the real was.
But that's the truth. I can still see that lake. Dad said, boy, I know how to row this round.
Okay, here's the picture, I think, of Dad and Aunt Catherine, right? Gotta be.
Yeah.
Right there by the old house.
This is by the old house.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
So, here we go. Yes, and there's some real uglies in this picture.
Oh, yeah, that was one of the Christmases, right?
Yeah. That's some double uglies.
Wait, that's here, isn't it? Is that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Ralph's camera, I think.
Yeah.
Every year. That has to be like 1987, 9, something like that. Because I look like, I think I look about 8 or 9 there.
So about 19.
88.
Oh, it's right on the back here.
What year does it say? Am I right?
1988.
I'm so good.
You are good. I'll tell you what, 1988. I did. It's already on there.
It's already on there.
Yeah, we're in like Flynn. Yes, sir. Well, I'm sure glad you came down.
Yeah, it's. And this isn't even the formal taping. This is just us trying to figure out what stories are gonna be the.
Main
Okay,
story.
there.
Yeah.
That's a good picture there.
Yeah. That picture, you can tell all about that picture.
Well, you can. This is Conrad Smith. Would this be, this would be,
From left to right, it says right on here, from left to right.
April 1907. Conrad Smith, would that be Dad's,
Dad,
dad, Grandpa's dad?
no. Oh, Conrad would be John Smith's dad.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's, I guess, would be his mother, right? Or
Well,
sister.
John's, Conrad Smith, and then
We don't know who's that lady, these two ladies are, do we?
no,
We don't know the ladies, but this is John, this tall skinny guy is John Henry.
Which is who in?
It is.
granddad,
Okay. So
John Henry, yeah,
And then
So,
the other one was.
Robert's father.
yeah.
George Smith, this is Don Smith's dad that came here.
Dave Smith, Dave. Yeah, Dave and Don, I think the older guy's name was Don.
Yep.
Dave,
Yeah.
yep.
And where is that picture taken? Does it say? Do you know?
At Peculiar, Missouri.
Is that where they were from?
Yes. Mhm. I've never been back,
Yeah.
I've never been down there, no.
They, what happened down there, to my understanding, was that the three brothers got to feeding so many cattle, and they didn't have communications between each other, and they bought too many cattle, and the price went down on them, and they lost their buck, right?
They bought them for, $3 a head,
Yeah.
sold them for $1 a head,
Oh.
fed them all winter,
Yeah.
broke, yeah. Yeah. So this is the farm, 1954. Homestead, yeah. Right.
Well, that's old area.
And I can remember all those buildings and those tree lines and all that stuff, yeah. We all can, right?
Keep looking through that one, Ben. Well, he's looking through that.
Keep going.
Well, here's all of Virginia, and there's a bear in the Yellowstone they picked a picture of. Oh, here they are camping. Here they are. Here's Virginia, Mom, and Margaret, and Dad. Camping
That's
on
on
their
their honeymoon.
honeymoon. And they stopped at,
I think there's some more over here too of that same thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's the same.
Mm.
This is Mom and Dad at a tree in,
California?
yeah, in California, in, where the heck were they staying? Pasadena?
Pasadena. is
Yeah,
what I'm talking-
Pasadena,
Yeah.
church deal, Mom and Dad.
Wow.
Mom always liked her hats. This is a picture of me. I guess I was feeding the sheep.
At 1 year old? Aren't you like 2 years old?
There's something there. What is
The
that?
older he gets, the better he used to be.
Hey, what is that? What is that?
That's a sheep.
But isn't he like 2 years old?
I don't know, but it's a sheep. It's a
I
shit.
don't think you'd be feeding him at 2 years old.
Well, I was away with that stupid thing.
Right, we know who's the best looking. You know, I can't figure out who's,
Oh, Margaret's here, and this is a graduation in, her picture in Pasadena.
Oh, yeah.
She's in the second row. Okay, I do know these. This is John Pletcher and Margaret, Virginia, Catherine, and Dad and Mom. Taken at the old dairy.
Oh, the old dairy.
so whose book is this? We think that's Margaret's, don't we?
Yeah.
1937?
Yeah, we thought it was Margaret's.
From graduating.
Yeah, well, yeah, and then she went to
Pasadena.
Viola College out there. See, I
Uh,
don't know what the deal is with Viola College because Catherine graduated from Viola, a very trained pianist.
Here's a picture of me.
Let him finish.
And then, of course, Virginia went to school at Viola College, and Catherine and Al's daughter, Julia, and her Virginia went to school at Viola.
So everybody wanted.
Well, from what I get, just reading literature and everything, it was a Baptist university.
Oh, okay.
So I know more. But someday, if I get out there, I'll go down to Viola College and see what is going on with Viola College. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Well, pictures and stuff. Forward. Okay. Well, when we finally put this together, that because see, Virginia only went to school a little while and she got sick. Got with sleeping sickness, and then she, of course, died, and they shipped her home in a box, and she's buried here in Yuma. Sad deal.
Yeah.
Very, very attractive. She might have even been better looking than you are.
Yeah, she's better looking. She was a very nice lady.
Yes, sir. Wow. So here's a bunch of real secrets, I think. We would call these secrets. Wow. Look at that.
What were you gonna say, Dad, about that picture?
Well, this is a picture of me. I'm not for sure. This is one of the ladies here, and this is a picture of Dad and Mom and me out in front of the old house. And then-
As a baby, right?
Yeah, and there's Virginia and Dad. And then here I am again, and then here's Lydia Schwartz and me. Here's Catherine and some of her friends, I don't know who. And this is Robert Leedy and his wife. He was a money guy.
Which was Robert's
He-
brother,
No, Robert Leedy would
His
be
cousin?
Gene Leedy, yeah,
his
because
cousin.
would be Gene Leedy's
Yeah.
and
Virginia.
Virginia's brother.